That was crazy. You know, I've said in the past, the greatest feeling in a Nintendo Direct is that classic one more thing, being surprised with like a big memento moment. And that's still good, but I think I have found a feeling that's even greater than that. That moment where you're desperately pleading for a moment to breathe when you're looking at Nintendo and you're like, stop! You can't possibly have this much to show. Huge announcement to huge announcement over and over. Where was the Just Dance announcement to help us catch our breath? Today was the big September Direct, and there is so much for me to talk about that I think I gotta separate it into chunks and have multiple videos talking about what we saw. Conveniently for me, the Direct also kind of segmented itself into chunks, with the first quarter of the entire presentation being all about Mario's 40th anniversary and all of the crazy reveals that involve that. So I think the best place to begin is to talk about the stuff revealed in this section of the Direct. Let's just go Mario crazy and talk about the 7 or 8 things that we learned. First of all, it's always so funny to me how when it comes to anniversaries with Nintendo, sometimes we don't care at all. Sometimes we get a very small announcement, maybe a game collection that disappears at the end of the year. And then other times an anniversary is the biggest thing in the universe, in the galaxy, maybe. And this definitely feels like it. I didn't think that the 40th anniversary would go this hard. I knew something was going to happen, but this is wild. Literally, the first frame of this presentation was old concept art of Mario, and we're like, oh, we're doing Mario right now. We're no build up at all. We're just bam, Mario. Miyamoto appeared, and anytime he shows up, a big thing is about to happen. I love that he's still so involved. He's really stepped away from the Nintendo gaming sphere, but has gotten himself really intertwined with Nintendo as a brand and trying to expand where Nintendo goes beyond just gaming and more just everything. The beginning of this Direct was all about the Nintendo Museum and the special Mario themed exhibits that were going to be there. We talked a bit about the theme parks that were opening and something about a relay race as well, a Nintendo backed relay race in Japan or something. He seems so passionate and he's having so much fun with experimenting of where Mario and Nintendo can be. And he just can't help but admire him for that. The first genuine content announcement was the Mario movie, the sequel to the Mario movie, which was revealed as the Galaxy movie. It's gonna go to space. It's all Mario Galaxy themed. People were right on the money with this prediction. I tend to back away from rumor talk and leak talk. I remember seeing some images of merchandise that was Galaxy themed, but I'm I don't know, that seems like a very easy thing to Photoshop. And I don't know, something about it just seemed unlikely. Galaxy was a big part of Mario's history, but it's not really a huge identifying feature of Mario right now. And it'd be about as weird as if it were Sunshine themed, It just seemed too specific, but at the same time, when thinking of a sequel to the Mario movie, the premise go to space is pretty enticing, I suppose. So yeah, I can really get behind that. All the casting seems to be the same. I'm sure we're gonna get a Rosalina casting at some point. It would shock me to my core if Rosalina was not in this. She absolutely is, right? And it comes out next year. It said spring 26. I gotta say, so much of the announcements from this Direct are coming pretty soon. Spring of next year was the latest anything was announced for. Everything had either a specific date, was coming out this year or early next year. You love to see it. What was really important for me, you know, as someone who likes video games, was will Galaxy be made available on Switch again? And even more importantly, Galaxy 2. Because Galaxy 1 had kind of been removed from the Switch by their own hand with a limited time release thing. And Galaxy 2 had been left entirely in the dust. But then they did it. Here we are with a Galaxy 1+2 collection pack, and coming out soon too. Like, I think it's only a month away, and they're really pushing like Galaxy as a specific Nintendo Mario franchise. They're making a physical Rosalina storybook. That's going to be impossible to get your hands on. And we got Galaxy Amiibo for Mario and Rosalina. And it sounds like they're larger than average Amiibo. Like maybe the size of the Street Fighter Amiibo that we got a little bit ago. Or maybe the Detective Pikachu Amiibo. Like that'd be insane. This is a massive push for Galaxy. I had to like sit here and brace myself. I always thought that the idea of like a Mario Galaxy 3 was ridiculous. The kind of thing that you would see on a DeviantArt wish list. But I had to like sit here in the back of my head and be like, am I about to see that? We didn't, so we can take a breather there. But yeah, it's crazy. It's so clear that because of the Galaxy movie theming, Nintendo was very much aware that they had to get Galaxy into as many people's hands as possible. So like, let's go, let's get a game collection on there pronto. Let's get merchandise. Let's get people talking about Galaxy. And like, it could have ended here. This was enough, I think. Or rather, we could have believed it as enough. The Mario section could have ended right here and we would have been like, yeah, that's about what we imagined Nintendo would have done for the 40th. But they kept going. We got like several more announcements to talk about actually. A big surprise, and one that I am 1000% sure is gonna get lost in the shuffle of everything today. Mario Tennis? Mario Tennis Fever? People online were talking about baseball, which is logical. You know, we on the Switch already, we got Tennis Aces, Golf Super Rush, and Strikers Battle League. So it felt like we were checking all the sports off the list. Baseball was the only one left. Mario Baseball isn't like a huge franchise. There's only 2 of them, but like the same could be said for Chargers. So if that can come back, then surely baseball is next. No, it's tennis again. You forget it's the Switch 2 now, so anything is now valid again to show up for a second time. And honestly, out of all of the Mario sport franchises, I think tennis is my favorite, so I think I'm way more likely to give time to this than baseball anyway. Aces was kind of a sleeper hit. I think it was made really well, and it had a lot of elements to it that made it very competitive, and everything I saw out of this Fever trailer looked sleek, looked well made, looked fast. And what did they say? Like 38 characters? Aces had a small roster at first, but kept adding to it over time. But even their final roster number, I don't think got that high. There also seems to be a story mode, which Aces had a story mode too, and it was not as big as the trailers made it out to be, so I'm not going too crazy over it, but the big surprise was seeing everyone transform into babies. I guess the gimmick being you start out the story mode as a little baby and you grow into a full-on tennis player or something. It's rare that all the Mario babies get to do anything besides driving a car, so that's kind of interesting. This is Baby Wario's first appearance ever, really, beyond like a Dr. Mario mobile appearance and a Yoshi game from like 10 years ago. And right next to him, who is that? Oh yeah, that's Baby Waluigi for the first time. Like, that is the first ever official appearance of a Baby Waluigi. You can find fan designs all over the internet, but he has actually never made a proper game appearance until now. So I've definitely got my eye out on this Mario Tennis. I'm interested to see what people are making of it. It's still early after the Direct's reveal, so like we haven't seen prices yet. That could sour the hype a bit, but right now I am just relishing myself in the hype. And there's more. Next was Mario Wonder making an appearance for a Switch 2 edition. Happy to see that. That's the first like big new Switch 2 edition announcement that we've gotten. This is right off of Star Crossed Worlds release. And it seems like we're getting a decent amount of new content. A whole new area has opened up, Bella Bell Park, filled with what looks like a bunch of multiplayer party-style minigames. There's a surprising amount of them, and some really creative ideas on display. I was kind of saying it in the reaction video that I'm not the biggest multiplayer party game person. I was more interested in single player content, but I was still happy to see this. But then right at the very end, just sneaking it in, they were like, oh, and by the way, maybe there is some more content additional to this. Stay tuned. We didn't get to see too much, but I saw Captain Toad. I saw the Koopalings, the return of the Koopalings in Wonder style, and collecting like a little bell flower rather than a wonder flower. So I don't know what that is, but we're gonna have to stay tuned for more. Also, this just in, some extremely eagle-eyed viewers on Twitter noticed Rosalina here, possibly making a playable appearance in Mario Wonder. No, they didn't reveal that at all per se. This was just kind of hiding in the corner of the video, so that's cool. And to celebrate this release of Mario Wonder Switch 2 Edition, we get a big talking flower that talks to us and can be in our house. I'm sure it's the product we were all hoping for. I just hope he's not too judgy. So that's almost everything. There was one last announcement in this 40th anniversary extravaganza. And for me, this might be the most interesting of all of them. We're getting a new Yoshi game. Yoshi has been dormant for a while, but we don't get Yoshi games too frequently. He kind of just shows up, you know, once in a blue moon to make a super pretty looking, casual little collectathon platformer. And then he skedaddles and we don't see him again for another like 7 years. Yoshi's Crafted World was pretty early in the Switch's life, and we haven't seen a Yoshi game since until today. This is Yoshi and the Mysterious Book with a really beautiful, like hand-drawn art style. The whole trailer had this weird, like biology theme, talking about finding these creatures in the wild, analyzing them, and then utilizing their powers. The footage was quick, but you got to see all these enemies hanging out on Yoshi's back and giving him new abilities. That's very fun. Yoshi enemies are so unique and like nothing we really seen anywhere else. So there's a lot of potential for interesting powers. And honestly, it's just great seeing Yoshi with something on his back that isn't a crying baby Mario for a change. The game looks beautiful. It is also a spring 2026 release. It will be some time, I imagine, before we see this game again. But I'm very happy for Yoshi, and I'm happy that for Mario's big 40th, other Nintendo characters aren't being left behind. I'm reminded of around the time the first Mario movie came out, where we got Mario games announced up the wazoo, but we also got a Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon HD and Princess Peach Showtime. Almost every major Mario character has their own franchise associated with them that feel different to Mario's usual thing. And I'm glad that like Nintendo is still interested in making them. And with that, that is everything from the 40th anniversary section of this massive hour-long direct. So I think with that, I'm going to end this video here. Let me know what you made of all of the Mario announcements. What are you most excited about out of this big batch of games? Is there anything not here that you would have rather seen instead? Let me know what you think. Meanwhile, I'm gonna get to working on the next video. To shift gears, probably to Pokemon. See you guys soon.